Hi, it's Stephen here from Sign of an Ocean Wave, and this is day 19 of the January daily draw. So as we start a new week, let's see what message we get. And I'll be taking the first card from the Linestrider Tarot, followed by an Oracle card from the Enchanted Map Oracle. So let's choose our first card and get the reading underway. Okay, here we go. We have the Three of Cups here. Party time. Fun time. We've all got the party hats on here. Very cute. But this is about, it's about sharing ourselves with others. It's about the give and take in relationships, but particularly enjoying connecting with other people. And it's also the growth that comes from social interaction, the growth through relationship and connection. So as we begin this week, let's look for ways to connect with others. We don't have to do that in a deep and serious way, unless that arises naturally. This is a fun time. This is, even if we don't necessarily have to make an official party out of it, unless there's an occasion to mark where we celebrate something and we can throw a party. If that should be the case, that's fine. That could be an example of how we do that and enjoy the company of others. But it may not necessarily need to be, I mean, the party hat's on, so it does celebrate, it can indicate a party. But that's more like the fun element, the light-hearted social interaction of just enjoying, interacting with each other, just connecting with others, joking, being ourselves, being comfortable enough to be ourselves and have fun, letting our hair down, that kind of, phraseology that comes into play there, relaxing a little in a way that is relaxing. I mean, some people get anxious with social interaction. Not everybody is extrovert. Not everybody is a party goer and, doesn't like going to parties. But there's three, this is a small group, maybe not a big party, maybe just with people that you feel you're interacting, not with a large group of people, but more of a, like you're in a circle or a small group that you really feel comfortable with, to be yourself and just to have fun. There's all kinds of interactions we have with others, formal, informal, and to some degree we style our interaction accordingly. And we do put on a kind of a mask. I'm not saying that we are deceptive in the truest sense of the word, being deceptive, but we do put a sort of a front on. When we go to work, we put our work persona on. It's still us. It's not us pretending to be something we're not. But there are certain things about ourselves that we don't sort of let out. That we're act a bit more professional. Yes, we can form good relationships with work colleagues, but there's a certain line that we don't cross in that setting because we're at work. which is different to being in a family setting where we may be with close members of the family. We behave in a certain way. With close friends, outside of family, perhaps we're a little bit more, we do a little bit more that we wouldn't do at home with ordinary members of the family. Because certain aspects of ourselves we don't feel appropriate to share with certain members of our family. But with our best friend or whatever, we would, that's a different matter. So there's different ways in which we relate to different people. And each are valid and authentic. There's just different styles of our interaction. Now, I'm not saying there's not occasions where people can be deceptive, but I don't think this is talking about that. This is just where we can just let go and have fun and be ourselves and laugh and celebrate, because this is important to have this kind of interaction. Even the shyest, most introvert of us can benefit from some kind of interaction that we feel comfortable with, or at least as comfortable that we're going to get. Because humans are meant to be beings that interact with other beings. We need, as much as we may want to be isolated and hermit-like, we do need that interaction. There is a benefit from that, a growth that comes from that. And if we're one that shrinks back from that, then maybe this card comes to encourage us to perhaps step out a bit of our comfort zone. Not heavily, not too uncomfortably, but with people that perhaps we've got to know and they've got to know us, and we can at least, on a fun level, just relax a bit and celebrate. And if there's something to celebrate, let's celebrate it together. So it's important that we have these fun times where we're not taking everything too seriously, so that life doesn't become too heavy upon us. We can let loose some of the stress by laughing and joking. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what our situation. There's always a place for that. And this card comes to us today to remind us of that. Because there's something healing, there's something bonding between individuals that these times brings about. So let's seek to interact with others in a fun and enjoyable way, and maintain and build those relationships, and bring some of that lightness and joy into our daily life that's sorely needed. Okay, so let's see which oracle card we get to go with that. Okay, here we go. Protecting treasure. The umbrella. She's laying there on the treasure with the umbrella up, protecting what she cherishes. And maybe this is, by having these fun times, it helps to protect and strengthen the interactions, the connections, the relationships that we have. And that if we have these relationships where we can, within which we can relax and have fun and laugh and joke and celebrate, they are to be treasured. They are to be cherished like treasure and protected as such. And they become important even when it starts to rain, even when the storms come. They can help sustain us, these relationships. So it's important for that to happen. That's the benefit we all get. We have a community, a group umbrella under which we can huddle together under. And it's like a mutual protection and security that we have. So let's value and cherish those connections and relationships like treasure, and let's have fun with it and bring some joy back into our daily lives. Okay, so that is today's message. I'll be back tomorrow for day 20. Until then, thank you for listening. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you all again very soon. Okay, bye-bye.